Jocelyn, I would like you to speak about the new project of Sotheby's. Are you interested by this artist choice and the fact that an auction house is presenting directly with the cooperation of a gallery some young artists or some contemporary artists? What do you think about that?
For me, it's quite intriguing. I understand perfectly the auction houses' perspective, which is to enrich their offer and to be more attractive and more cool and refresh a little bit their image. What is a little bit astonishing or interesting for me, intellectually interesting, is to see that it shows that so many artists, emerging artists, have no understanding of the ecosystem as it works. And they feel that a direct confrontation with what they expect to be the market or what they think their imagination or their image of the market, I think is quite wrong, because you have really you don't have the same kind of buyers and collectors buying in this kind of on platforms and from primary market galleries. So for me, it shows that there is a misunderstanding about what the art market could be and could provide to an emerging artist.
And what about Zwirner Initiative, its platform?
For me, that's also very strange to see that a gallery is trying to attract as many goodies, art, because when you see the offer on platform at Zwirner, I don't think that there is any artist there that could be integrated in the already colossal list of artists they have in the Galerie roster. They already have something like 80 artists they represent. And I think that's this idea of having always more offer, which turns a little bit the gallery and its editorial label to a kind of global sales platform. I see very much the risk of a gallery dissolving itself into an anonymous selling platform. And I don't really understand why, when you are very successful as Zwirner is, instead of being more conscious of his brand as a guarantee of quality, that is just opening up and having, I mean, if you see the platform, it's almost quite ridiculous to see that you have always the same chimney and the same objects on the chimney placed on the chimney as a little bit like a kind of bad taste composition, and you have always the painting, always a middle-sized format of a kind of something which is quite readable and very good Instagram material, by the way, but always associated either with the sofa or the chimney. So
yeah, we need.
Did you see it?
Yes.
It's quite interesting to see
and
that.
So you have no chimney, but you have 1,000 square meters gallery in Romainville, in the outskirts of Paris, and you are opening a new gallery, a tiny gallery, right in the epicenter of Paris, in Saint-Germain, Rue des Saints-Pères, 60 square meters. So yeah, what for?
Because size doesn't matter, Judith. It's all about the content and the quality. And for certain projects, you need lots of space. And this is what I was missing being in Belleville. But I knew right at the beginning of my installation in Romainville that I would miss also this smaller format to do different things. I think you can really do interesting projects in a very small scale, with lots of with an attention to details, and sometimes you need more volume, heights, etc. So I need both scales, and I also wanted to have like the two most opposite situations in the Paris,
yes,
to be like to have a big and maybe there is a little bit of spirit of contradiction behind, to have like expensive works for sale is in a very upcoming neighborhood where real estate is not
expensive. Practically, what are you going to show there? You have free seats, right?
Yeah, in this case I will have a drawing cabinet with works that will come either from my artist roster, but also artists I love. And for instance, Laura Lamiel is an artist I adore, and she works with a gallery I highly respect. And Marcel Alix was very nice to give me some drawings for this drawing cabinet.
So not only from your
Exactly, it's
from
quite
your,
open. It's
yeah.
quite open, and it shows also the fact that you can work together with other galleries who have like outstanding artists, and it's nice to work together. And then you have a small like vitrine associated space where I will do lots of shows, small shows, but in collaboration sometimes with other dealers from all over the world, and not necessarily contemporary art dealers, but also antiquity dealers, archaeology dealer. And then the third function of the space is based on giving advice, free advice, for people who need information where to frame and how to frame perfectly a piece. I need to find a restorer for a terracotta piece or for
So concierge service for the art.
Exactly. And this is also to share like an incredible network of professionals I know about, and they are based in France, and they are not very easy to identify, and there are no means to have an office, each of them in Paris.
And what is interesting, we discuss about the level of price in general in the art market for contemporary artists, and your superstar of the gallery is Myriam Khan, and you insist of not having too big prices for institution to afford them.
Yeah, I think it has like the reasoning behind is first, the artist considers that it's important that normal people can afford, let's say, a small piece, a small unique piece. She doesn't want to produce goodies just to spread her name everywhere, but for like drawings, that's also coming. At first, it comes from the artist who doesn't want. She has a very good understanding of the art market. She's not naive. She comes from an old dealer's family, and she knows that things are also stronger when you have like a very large, very international market base, and lots of people who start with a small work may go on, and the collectors you find quite easily in Europe are people who may buy a small work, and the work may remain in the family.
So is she the one putting the limit for the prices?
For the small works, yes. And then we discuss prices very openly with her, but she's actually following our suggestions. But she likes the idea that for a super important piece, she may produce only a few times, like an extremely big painting that she has done a couple of very large pieces in her lifetime, and that the price is way in a different category and would address different people. And I think it's quite fair. But we are also speaking about an artist who is highly productive and who she's a little bit more like the Picasso type. So
it means productive. How many paintings does she produce
per year? Yeah. Oh, I have no idea. I cannot say, because sometimes works come back to her and she will repaint them and they will change. So it's not so
but
easy.
Like 100?
Yeah, something like that, yes.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less, but you have lots of works on paper.
And how do you imagine in 2 words or in 1 sentence, the future of the art market with all this craziness about young artists that you have to pay for 1 million or?
Oof, tough question, Judith. I didn't expect less from you. I have no idea about the future of the art market. I just think that my role is just to be, to have my values, to be very authentic in whatever I do. And I think you always had this tendency in the art market to treat art as a currency. You see it as with the NFTs, which is closer to the Bitcoin market. So you have always this tendency, and also in the imagination of many artists, and many dealers, when you speak with them, they find for them the ultimate level of being an artist is to be able to have a signature which is more valuable than the check itself. You know, Picasso, you have all these stories.
Merci, monsieur.
Merci, Judith.